Welcome back to 26 North. Today talking about young people getting involved, making a difference, community service. It's an important part of everyone's life, at least in my personal view. Everyone should do something at some point in there between high school or their college years to give back, to work with other people, to understand what giving is and the rewards of giving. Joining me now is Alan Linton. Alan, you're a second-year political science major at the University of Chicago, a very daunting program, very daunting establishment to be a part of. And you're also part of the University Community Service Center. Tell me a little bit about the Service Center.
Right now we have 14 programs covering a wide range of fields. And the great thing about being at the Community Service Center right now is that with such a daunting program in terms of the academics from Chicago, one can be involved in all types of service. We have volunteer referral, a program where you come in and talk about, I want to get involved with service. You can be matched up with someone that fits your interests, an organization that wants to go out and either beautify the city by planting flowers and picking weeds, or you can work at a soup kitchen, or you can work on campus cleaning up, working with sustainability. So there are a lot of different options right now, and that's the brilliant thing about being at the center. You can get your educational enrichment as a person by having the academics, but also by building your character by being in service.
It would seem that, particularly if you're studying political science, it's almost impossible to understand political science, politics in general, without understanding communities, societies, people, being involved, being on the ground floor. I can't imagine anyone in your program isn't involved in something.
I mean, basically right now, what you have is developing oneself as a whole. And with political science, you interact with different people, covering a wide range of issues, and that's the brilliant thing about service. Community service allows you to meet different people, share experiences, take skills that you have, and apply them to get benefits in the community that you wouldn't see. It's your direct help that I think makes service a great thing that everyone should be involved in, no matter what the time frame is. If it's a day of service like we have, where you can sign up just for 6-8 hours a day, or if it's a year-long program, it doesn't matter, because either way, you're getting out there and you're servicing the community, you're helping yourself become a better person, but at the same time, you're interacting and helping others with skills that you have.
Now, being at the University of Chicago, to say the least, you have an endless legacy of great minds, great thinkers, great professors, yes, great people who have gone on and beyond the United States globally in terms of political science, in terms of activism.
That's right.
It's got to be, every day you get up in the morning and say, hey, I'm a student at the University of Chicago, that's got to do something for you.
It's a special thing considering the academic history that we have. But we have other goals as well. We want to be a national leader in service. And right now, with the 14 different programs that we have, we are preparing ourselves to be that national leader. And we're not looking at just becoming a good person through having the great history of academics at the University of Chicago. It's more so becoming a better person by balancing both sides, being able to keep up with the academic rigor, but at the same time taking those skills from the classroom or the social skills from the off-campus registered student organizations and applying them to community service.
Well, share with me some specific examples of some things you're doing on the ground.
Right now, one of the most rewarding programs that we have is Men in Service. Okay. There's a big stigma that men don't get out and aren't as active in the community. And we try to target men of all ages to come out and get involved with service in the community, whether it be spending some time tutoring, teaching kids how to play a certain sport. We also have the Investment in Diversity program, something that I'm very fond of. And it's going out and taking kids in middle school and high school and taking them on a tour of the University of Chicago, letting them know that this is a realistic place for them to be at, and that they should strive to be the best person they can be, because right now, all the doors of opportunity are open. And community service is a way of sharing those experiences, sharing that you can do whatever you want to, and through service, you can interact and meet people that can help you be there. So it's both the community benefits, but also personal benefits as well.
As far as the organization of the Community Service Center, I mean, is this a student-run organization? Is it inspired by the students, put together and maintained by students, or is it a university program? Where does it stand in that sense?
We have 4 professional staff, but we have 25 student leaders.
Okay.
And the student leaders run the various programs that we have, the 14 different programs that we have in the center. So we have the professional staff almost as advisors, but a lot of these programs, a lot of service projects that we like to do, are coming from the students themselves. and the students are getting the other students on campus involved. So it's a nice cycle that it's a student-led thing. The projects are run by students, and most of all, we're connecting to youth outside in the community, whether it be Hyde Park, Woodlawn, or the greater Chicago area. We want to make sure that we get out and know that being at the University of Chicago is great, but we're also in a great city, and we do service throughout the city of Chicago.
As far as, being at the university level, you have a certain level of academic, personal savvy, being a little older, a little more mature. You're a graduate of Morgan Park High School. At the high school level even, are there ways to be involved at that level, in your view?
I spent a lot of my high school time involved with the Key Club. And the Key Club is a community service-based organization with the same principles as the center, student-led, student-run, going out and doing service. And you can be in contact, and you should go to your principals, vice principals, and talk to teachers about different projects in the area. One of the more exciting projects that I had was going out and tutoring other middle school kids since I just came out of 7th and 8th grade when I joined Key Club. And having them understand that, yes, teachers do a great thing, but students can also do a great thing. And one of the great benefits about service at a young age is that when youth see other youth being involved, it inspires you to go out there and be involved too, because it's not just the traditional community service ideas. It's matching whatever your interest is. There's a way to be involved and serve for that.
The Community Service Center, certainly you have to do a lot of work in terms of outreach to other students getting involved. Tell me a little bit about reaching out to other students in the university community.
Right now we're trying to expand our horizon to have students connect with other students. The message is always being passed of getting out to do service, become a better person. But it comes stronger from students that are actually involved. So a lot of student group presentations that we have, we're starting those to connect with students. Gauging interest, gauging time. We want to make sure we're as flexible as possible. We don't want to have anyone feel that they can only do a day of service. They can only work in a 5-mile radius.
Right.
They can only work in a certain area of Chicago. We want to make sure that every possible option is open in terms of interest, in terms of availability, and finally, in terms of getting out there and engaging as many students as possible on a wide range of things and building.
I can't imagine you have much resistance in that case.
Not at all, and we're still growing every day.
That's fantastic. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have some closing thoughts. Welcome back. Today we've been talking about different ways young people are getting involved. And I say young people simply because I got this big beard. I'm young at heart as well. Talking with Alan Linton, who's a second-year poli-sci student at the University of Chicago, part of the University Community Service Center. In our closing segments here, I've been involved in media for 13 years now. And one of the main things that I really like to get involved in is getting young people, particularly in the communities, inner city and what have you, understanding media, really understanding it, not just being consumers of it, but understanding of it, the role it plays in our everyday lives and how you can be a part of that. And this is a certain interest to you as well.
It is. I work externally with the Metropolitan Area Group for Igniting Civilization, MAGIC. And one of the programs that we have is MAGIC Teen Talk Chicago. And it's engaging youth within Woodlawn, issues that affect them. Frequently on the news, you hear about this bad thing versus that bad thing, the economy struggling, there's a war. Not enough positive information on good things that youth are doing throughout the city of Chicago. So we engage youth with learning how to work with cameras, media operations, and then getting them out there to feel comfortable talking about the issues and giving an alternative perspective on things like education, politics, music, fashion,
Certainly.
sports.
It's vital to, particularly when we're talking about young people, to understand that, we're all consumers of media in
Yes.
various different ways. To be able to filter and digest and understand the reasons and motivations behind what media gets out there. I mean, honestly, the only reason television shows exist are to fill up the time between commercials. And that's a realistic point of view that a lot of people don't understand. And that goes for news or anything else. And really educating people on what media is and how to be able to filter it.
It is the development of everything. So it turns out going out and sponsors, going out and making sure we have a message to delivering it in the best possible way. And that's from the voices of various youth within the community, 13 to 19. So that's another program that is personally near and dear to my heart, but follows in line with some of the lessons I've learned at the University of Chicago, in particular for the Community Service Center.
Well, Alan, you're an inspiration to me. I think,
you.
having you and Lindsay as well and Saul on the program today, I think we're in a good position. I'm going to support these young people today. I'm going to support myself because I'm going to shave this beard off, first of all. Everyone's looking at me like I'm their uncle. I'm not old enough to be your uncle.
You're a nice guy. I like the beard, though.
I'm not a nice guy.
Okay, fine.
All right. Alan, thank you so much. We'll see you next week right here on 26 North Halsted.